Whiskey and Nerds podcast.
Yeah, Piper's looking through the old interwebs right now on the Eternals, and everything is problems with the Eternals. What wasn't explained in the Eternals? Not like fans raving about the Eternals, because they're not.
Nope. At all.
Interesting.
And again, it wasn't that bad. They just missed.
And we said this during, like, when we were leaving the theater. I'm going to have to see this movie 4 or 5 more times.
I give it one more time. You get one more.
I mean at least 2.
I need to piece it all together, because there was 9 characters. 4 of them were main characters. The movie was 3 hours long, and it was all brand new. There was no repetition.
So, okay, there's a lot to unpack on this. I'm gonna need whiskey for it.
Yeah.
So let's start here. Whiskey.
So, Gabe got you a little special bottle this week.
Yeah, that's the last thing I bought. It was difficult. I had a choice because it's a point system.
Oh yeah, what was it up against?
I had exactly 1,500 points.
Okay. So the Old Fitz 8-year.
Old Fitz 8.
Obviously won.
Yes. The other one was the Elijah Craig 18.
Oh yeah. And we just killed one.
We just did. I'm looking at the bottle down there.
Yo, yeah, I kept that one.
This smells delightful.
It smells like it's our palate.
On the nose, brown sugar.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't get anything past brown sugar right now.
Almost a little bit of molasses or syrup.
Or sweetness, yeah.
It smells fucking good.
That's really about it. I don't get a whole lot else.
Mm-mm.
A little bit of oak note. I didn't make a bad choice.
It's good.
I didn't make a bad choice at all.
It was weird.
Oh, man. Ooh,
It
that
almost tastes a
finish.
little bit like EC18.
Yeah. While being completely different at the same time. It ends kind of dry like that one did.
Yeah.
Okay, I got notes pulled up. Do you want to guess some notes on what you have and see how close we are? See how our palates are?
I got oak, vanilla.
Yeah. Cinnamon on the end with a dryness.
Yeah, very dry finish. Leaves your tongue feeling almost like you have cotton mouth.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's really good.
It's like Jim Carrey and Me, Myself, and Irene. I'm gonna get some water. God, I love that movie. So according to Breaking Bourbon,
Okay.
I'm gonna back my microphone up because I'm screaming at it. My voice carries. On the nose, brown sugar butter, toasted cinnamon, fresh oak, vanilla wafer. Well, this is just lazy writing. Traditional bourbon scents with a twist.
It smells like bourbon, Gabe.
Yeah, that's what they just told me. Well, you're not wrong. Aren't you guys supposed to be writers? I like this. Mash bill, 75% corn, 20% wheat.
Okay.
Yeah, Old Fitz are wheated bourbons, 5% malt. Color, chestnut.
Sure.
Does it taste like bourbon?
On the palate.
Bourbon-like flavors.
I wish it did. I really did. Vanilla brown sugar, cream, underlining light summer fruits, hint of peach. Psychosomatic.
Try to find that on the second sip.
Yeah, I don't know. Light syrup,
Yeah.
like you said. Peppercorn spice, that's the dryness on the end.
Yeah.
Light sugary fruit flavors are highlighted. On the finish, flash of brown sugar, white peppercorn, dry oak, white peach.
I did not get a lot of fruity flavors in this.
There was bright flavors.
Summer
but
fruits and peach.
peaches. Light leather. Definitely got that
Yeah.
dryness on the end.
Yeah.
Grounded flavors, pull forward, and a lighter overall finish like bourbon. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah.
Smells like bourbon, tastes like bourbon.
They gave it a well above average.
Yeah.
It's 3.5 barrels out of their 5-barrel system. I would rate it slightly higher than that, but this is
You think of a 4.25?
4. Just because this is checking a lot of boxes for me.
Yeah.
8 to 12 is kind of my age range, even though
Yeah.
my favorite one's a 15 and 18 is also fantastic. 8 to 12 is a standard
Yeah.
solid win. Couple things on whiskey news. It is no longer Stag Junior.
It is not.
It is just Stag. I don't know if I care. I think my question is, what are you going to call the other one now?
Yeah.
Is it Stag,
Stag.
and George T.
George T.
Stag?
Stag.
You just going to call it George T? You going to stop releasing it altogether because you fucked it up?
I hope not.
It's so
Can you remove one of the antique collections? Because then it's no longer the collection.
Exactly.
I guess we'll find out next year.
I guess so.
Because that'll be the next time they have a release is end of
I
2022.
would really like to do a George T. Stag and a Stag Junior side by side. Because
Yes.
I've had Stag Junior a couple times.
Mhm.
And very, very good. Brown sugar, caramel, and fire.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's hot. And then we had George T. Stag. I had it the one time. I don't know if you've had it since.
I don't think so.
That was tremendous.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Also, the fact that it was like a 3.5 ounce pour for a 1 ounce price
Yeah.
went a long way.
Yeah. Especially because the very next restaurant I saw it at, the 1 ounce pour price was 3 times what it was where we had it at.
Oh, God,
It
yeah.
was a 1 ounce pour for $100. And I was like, no.
We did it for, what was it, 30? 35?
35.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up getting like 3. We got like half a glass, half of a rocks glass.
Yeah, he came back, oh, sorry, I was a little heavy handed.
Do not apologize, sir.
Yeah. Also, Spirits of French Lick.
Yeah, I saw that. Another one.
It was weird.
They've got a new bottle come out every like 2 months.
They do, and they're all different.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can find it. Because they have their 4-grain, they have their weeded, they have their regular. They came out with, I think, called it multi-grain, but there's like 7 different things in this mash bill.
Is that the dark blue label?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I cannot pull up right now for whatever reason, but that sounded really weird, and it was really interesting. I'm going to try and go about it this way. But to see that kind of... I thought brown rice was weird in the chapter 4, the little
Yeah.
book chapter 4.
I'm curious what, like, every day on the shelf bourbon has the highest or the largest quantity of contents in a mash bill
Right?
versus like, oh, it's got corn and rye and like I want to know because when we went to Iron Root, they're talking about like there's 7 different kinds of corn we can put in, and this one makes it a little bit sweeter. This one makes it a little bit drier. This one makes it a little bit something else.
Yeah, this one will
So-
give you these heartier flavors. This one will
Yeah.
give you a little more sweet corn. This one will give you a little more dry dustiness to
Yeah.
it.
So what mash bill that's regularly available on the shelf has the biggest, giant, most elaborative mash bill?
I tried to find the post where they actually broke down what it all was.
Let me throw this in there too. That is also good. And vice
Yes.
versa, which one has the smallest mash bill? Like, I know, what is it? Mellow corn? It's just corn.
Mm-hmm.
So what other mash? I've never had mellow corn, actually. So
I hear it's fine.
I heard it's really sweet whiskey.
Yeah.
But what mash bill has like a 2 or 3 ingredient mash bill? That's also amazing.
Because most traditionally will have 3 grain.
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, so it's usually corn, wheat or rye, and malted barley.
Yeah. But I'm curious, though, if corn is just 1 corn, or if it's corn, but there's 8 corns in it.
That's a good point. What was it, Prometheus? Is there corn whiskey?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Or Hubris.
No. I thought Hubris was their, like, scotchy one.
That's
That's Icarus.
Yeah, that's Icarus.
Yeah.
It might be Hubris. I think it's Hubris. I think it's 80% corn, but Iron Root runs like 4 different types of corn on anything.
Yeah.
It's mostly one. He explained it to us. It's mostly this, and then we throw some bloody butcher corn or the black corn or blue corn, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
or whatever else it is. It's a 7 grain, and if I can just a little bit look, nope, doesn't say it.
Trying to zoom in on that label there.
I'm trying to zoom in real hard, man. Okay, we got wheat, rye, corn, oats, caramel malt, and something I can't pronounce, kasha, which I don't know what that is.
Sure.
We're getting creative. These craft stuff is really getting
Yeah.
pretentious.
Keep bringing it out. I'll keep drinking it.
Yeah, take my money. I'll keep buying it.
So.
Any other news in the whiskey world? Anything we're trying to drink?
No, we're getting to the end of the year. My birthday's coming up, so we're starting to open up some fun bottles. So you got the Old Fitz 8, got the Willet Rye out. Probably open up something else on the next podcast.
Iron Root.
Iron Root.
Or the 7 grain that I just talked about.
Yeah.
I might go buy that.
Or maybe do both of those.
Also, the Spirits of French Lick weeded bourbon is back out on a release.
Which one was that one again?
That was the Blue Label one. It was okay by
Yeah.
itself. There really wasn't anything to write home about. But that's the one. It's that, the 100% wheat whiskey, Whips and Corset,
Oh, is this like your trifecta?
and the Restoration Rye. I might go buy those 3 and try them again. See if
You
it
should
works.
just go all in
Just-
and get a 1 3/4 liter bottle, dump them all, give it a little shake, give it a day or two to kind of settle.
See what happens. I think I'm going to do a half ounce each, which is what I did the first time,
Yeah.
and then get an old bottle that I have left over as a new infinity bottle,
Yeah.
and then do equal parts, 250 each,
Yeah.
and then let it sit open for a couple hours, or like an hour maybe, and then just
Yeah. Interesting.
be my personal blend.
Yeah.
Suck it. It's gonna taste like feet.
Or it's gonna be like yours and taste like nothing.
Yeah, I'm done on infinity bottles, but I still remember that I have that barrel in my garage right now that is slowly aging.
We need to do that again, because you don't have a barrel. You have a bucket with a barrel lid on it.
Yeah, but what I thought about doing, have you seen those those spiral helix toasted? I thought about getting a couple of those and just tossing those in
Might as well try
because
it.
it's something. Or I know New Riff does it. I don't know if any other distilleries do it, but they'll sell like a little mason jar of their charred wood.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about just trying to order some of that online, just dumping that in there with it.
I mean, why not?
It's flavor.
Try it.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah,
I might
I'll try it.
invest in the small, like,
the little wooden
5
barrel.
gallon wooden barrels
Yeah,
and try it again. Because, again, White Dog it's not new make.
no,
It's already been processed for consumption, so you're just trying to age something that's already done.
yeah,
Which, the Whiskey Tribe did it with vodka. They tried to
Yeah,
age
try
vodka.
to age vodka.
Yeah. And speed age it and see what happened.
yeah.
They're
Did any
like-
of theirs turn out good?
Eh.
They were meh.
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Because I've tried that I have out in the garage a couple different times, and it just tastes like really sweet whiskey because it's White Dog.
Yeah.
That's what it is, really sweet. But then it's got hints of you can tell there's goodness coming into it. It's just very slow process. So
Basically, it's what can we do to
I just
improve
want to
White
keep
Dog?
shoving stuff in it and then make it phenomenal and never be able to recreate it.
You just gotta write down what you did.
Yeah.
We're not good
All
at
I
that.
know right now is that what is in there
Beforehand.
now, which is nothing, and then the day I started it.
The writing stuff down as you do it is very, scientific way of going about it.
Yeah.
It's like when I cook. I don't know, fuck it. This will break. Hey,
Oh,
this
I
is really
know.
good. What'd you do?
No idea. It's like every time my mom made her Spanish rice or whatever.
It was different every time.
Every time my dad and I would always joke, be like, "Well, you better enjoy this round because you're never getting this just like this again."
Exactly.
Because sometimes when you walk to the pantry, you're like, I have a can of green beans, a candy bar. Chicken Parmesan it is.
I was trying to look up how the leather taste comes in whiskey.
Yeah.
Cannot find it anywhere.
The breakdown.
Nobody knows.
It's just because I guess the certain things they put in just makes it smell like whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
all you're basically smelling
So
like the leather, but it's the same like I guess components that they put to make leather smell like. I don't really
forgot
know.
what I was just watching. It was probably something whiskey tribe, whiskey vault, but they were talking to somebody, and they're talking the difference between like taste and flavor, and like, well, the taste is just like the 4 things you can taste on your tongue. This is sweet, this is spicy, this is sour, whatever. Like flavor actually comes from.
So exercise for the day.
My exercise for the day is watching those people exercise.
Yeah.
No, I ran a really shitty mile this morning. My legs
Nice.
were all locking up because I was cramping during Muay Thai yesterday. I was like, God. So I was like, I'm going to try and run this out. That's not how that works. But yeah, like your taste is, the flavors on your tongue. Flavor actually comes from those tastes with the very, very specific smells your nose can pick up. That's where the flavor is, which would make sense. The leather is, it tastes dry
Yeah.
and smells like leather.
Tastes
like
like
leather.
leather.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I heard a movie came out.
A movie did come out. It was a Marvel movie called The Eternals.
Okay, so let's run down before, I don't want to say shit on it, but before I start dropping opinion bombs.
Yeah.
Let's start. There's a very large cast.
It was a very large cast.
Mm-hmm.
And very large cast can be either
All of my
promising.
notes are the cast, and these are all of my notes. So,
So the thing with very large cast is it can be very promising, especially when it's talented. And this one, by all points,
There
was
were some
very,
big names in it.
very, very talented. Richard Madden from
Mhm.
Game of Thrones fame, Kit Harington, which we'll definitely dive into that,
yes.
from Game of Thrones fame. I can't remember her first name, but her last name's Chan. She kind of led the whole movie.
Oh, the girl that played Cersei.
Gemma Chan.
Gemma Chan, thank you. She was actually, I actually liked her quite a bit.
Yeah.
For, wasn't a huge fan of the helpless, hapless lead character, but
Yeah.
her trying to make that work, I was actually a fan of. Selma Hayek was there for a minute.
Angelina Jolie is in it.
For what? I don't know. Character was terrible. Yeah, hated it. That's right. I said it.
Well, I have some things to say about that.
Kumal was there doing exactly what Kumal does.
Yeah. He was the comedic relief.
Yeah, he did a decent job of that. It was a mess.
It was.
So, the Eternals are these immortal beings
Yep.
sent to a planet by Celestials. Not that you wouldn't know already. Spoiler alert's coming. And they think it's to protect the world from the deviants. In reality, it's just to fight off the deviants and keep the planet alive and the people living on it alive
Yeah.
long enough.
To build the population up.
Yes.
To create enough energy for the
Yes.
rebirth.
For the emergence of a new Celestial.
Yeah.
Which fucked up when you think about it.
Yeah, we're just, they're farming us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it bugged me in the movie. They're like, we're going to kill a whole planet versus billions of people. Bitch, there's billions of people on this planet. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to kill billions of people just to make a couple planets? Fuck y'all.
A couple more billion.
Yeah, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
But, so, obviously, shenanigans ensue.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff goes sideways. People do things. They try and stop the emergence. That, in and of itself, is an okay baseline of a plot. Not super engaging,
Yeah.
but okay. You're like, all right, I mean, if I can get through Green Lantern, which was a similar plot, I can get through this.
Yeah. Smaller cast.
Much smaller cast.
Well, and Blake and I were talking about it yesterday of it's the same thing with like Shang-Chi. We're probably going to appreciate this movie a lot more later.
In 7 or 8 years.
Because of what it unloaded, what
Yeah.
it opened the door to.
It was a setup movie for us.
Which-
Just like Shang-Chi is.
I knew it would be.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi was a lot more engaging. You thought higher of the characters in it. you want to see a sequel to that movie. I'm sure there will be an Eternals 2.
I mean, it's said in
I
the thing,
don't-
Eternals will return or whatever. So
I don't
who
want
knows
there
if?
to be an Eternals 2. Use those people doing other things in different places.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just said
half
that it
of
will
them died,
return.
so it'll be a better movie because it's half the cast.
True.
Yeah, it just said they'll return. It didn't say if there'd be a second one or if they would just be in. Obviously, they're going to be in future.
I mean, the
Things.
Hulk was in a shit ton of stuff and never had his own movie
Yeah.
outside the Edward Norton garbage.
Yeah,
So they
that's
can do whatever.
probably going to be just like that.
Yeah, because this didn't go over super well
Yeah.
up to this point. The reviews on it, from everything I've seen, and I haven't dove deep into anything, but it's like, meh.
Yeah.
The reviews leading up to it were like, meh.
Yeah. So I have a huge list of pros and I have a huge list of cons.
Oh, good.
So I'm torn on this movie.
Okay.
And we talked about it last night. If you were to throw this in the 1 to now 25, 26, where are we at now?
25.
25? So in 1 to 25, I said this movie would fall in the teens. It's going to fall in the high teens, but it's going to fall in the teens.
Nope, it'd be in the last 5 for me.
It'd be the final 5, the back
It'd be
5.
Back 5.
Nah, I'd put it in the middle for me.
Because for me, it's... Because what were my back couple? It was Thor: Dark World,
Captain Marvel,
Guardians 2. I was
Ant-Man
never
2.
for... Yeah. I think I liked Ant-Man 2 and Guardians 2 better than this movie, but
Yes.
I didn't leave the theater going, I wasted 2 hours.
3.
3.
Damn near 3 hours. Yeah, it was
2
like...
hours and 42 minutes. Something
Yeah,
like that.
something ridiculous. So, like Captain Marvel leaving the movie, fuck, that was terrible. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, man. Thor: Dark World, it was like, that was the best you could do with those characters and that story arc?
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. This one, I was like, well, that was kind of dumb. They could have done a lot better.
It was like
a
they
mess.
swing, they hit it, but like hit a foul ball.
Yeah,
Yeah. It didn't miss. It just didn't count for anything.
yeah, Captain Marvel, they hit themselves in the own face.
Yeah.
Thor: Dark World is just strikeout.
That
just-
was a strikeout.
yeah.
Yeah.
This one was a foul ball.
Foul tip.
Foul tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how we're using a baseball analogy for a sport we don't
For the
watch.
sport we never even cover.
Which, by the way, congratulations to the Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves, yeah, won the national championship. Beat out Houston Astros in Game
Boo.
6.
World Series, not national championship. What a noob.
Shows you how much I watch it.
Yeah.
I watch the playoffs. Like 3 games
I watched a collective 7 minutes total
of the World Series.
of all of postseason baseball.
Like, that's all of your cumulative time of walking by TVs that had it on.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, oh, hey, the World Series. And then they went to a commercial, and I forgot that I was watching the World Series, so I changed it.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good.
But anyway, so pros and cons. The movie itself was very good. The organization of the layout of the movie was god-awful. I was, in the first hour, so confused as to what timeline I was in. Am I in ancient Babylon or am I in 2020?
The
Because
answer
they all
was
look the
yes.
same.
The answer was yes the whole time.
Yeah.
The
But
whole
it
time was yes.
It was just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
That is the only, for me, that's like the biggest downside.
Yeah.
So and that was the biggest flaw, and that kind of crippled the movie. So I had to explain this at work. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody telling you a story, but as they're telling you a story, they have to explain why this part of the story matters mid-story?
I have had one of those conversations.
Okay, so
One or two.
for example, it's like, and then
He's
this happened,
married to somebody who
and then
only
Jim,
talks that way.
and then Jim did this thing, but let me tell you why Jim did this thing. So back here, this thing happened, and this thing happened, and then Jim said this. So now
Yeah.
we're back in today.
I take
and
it back.
Jim's doing
I like
this.
the movie more now because it relates to my ADHD.
And then you keep going in the story, and it's like, and then Darla showed up, but let me tell you why Darla showed up. So like 4 days back here, this happened, and Jen sent this text to Darla.
We had this exact same conversation this morning.
Like,
I was like, just get to the end point. I don't
I'm
need
like,
the whole backstory.
I'm like, no, I have to tell you the backstory so you understand my point.
but my problem is if you have to go that deep into the backstory, that spread out to
Then
get
you
to your
didn't write
point,
this movie well enough.
your point is not good enough to sell me.
Yeah.
If you have to give me all this to get there, we lost her completely.
I'm
Yeah.
dead.
If you have to constantly be jumping every 5 seconds to get to your point, to make your point matter. Get to the point. Well, I can't, otherwise you won't appreciate it. Then I don't appreciate your point. That's period. So, baseline of the entire movie, okay, I get it, but for you to explain this to me would have been done better as a series.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I one of my friends said the same exact thing. Like, I read like their
This should have
poster,
been a
like
Disney
this would have
Plus
been a
series.
really good series.
Because
Yes.
you could have had another con that I had was you have roughly 12 main characters.
Yeah.
How are you going to have character development for any of them in 3 hours?
Like, so you literally could have had a good 12 episode series, 30 minutes piece. I mean, you don't have to get
Yeah.
ridiculous
Do like
with
45.
6
yeah.
hours, you double your time, and you can create character development.
Your first episode is introducing it, and in that opening
In
scene,
Babylon.
just
Or
like
in Mesopotamia in
Yeah.
5000 BC.
yeah, your very first, the thing shows up, they fight off the deviant, and your next one is Cersei and Icarus go off and have this, and your next one is where does what's his name,
Kingo, yeah.
Kingo and Fastos go on and do, and then this one show their individual stories over a couple episodes, and then you spend your last 5 episodes of emergence is happening, here's what we gotta fucking do,
Yeah.
bam, and then
Oh, there's actually 10 of them.
you turned a big old thing into stone. Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously?
And now that's just going to be there forever.
Yeah, like,
I'm
no
sure
one's-
we'll come back to it, obviously.
no one's gonna clean this up.
I don't think they can. I think it...
It's
What-
in their core.
I was like, when you think
If
about it, it
turn
goes-
him into stone. What happens to the molten
The whole
core?
planet's about to freeze the fuck over.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So that was a con. I will get to my pros because I do have a lot of pros about this movie.
Hit all your cons first, because that's where I'm in that boat.
Okay.
And then you can, like, walk me back. Because you usually do. You're like, what about this? I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. It's fine.
So another con is because there's no character development. There were things that they just try to plug into the film, but I was like, why? Like when Kingo is talking to Sprite, and she's telling him the Peter Pan story. It's like because Tinkerbell loved Peter Pan, and I'm like, wait, who's Peter Pan in the story again? And so they're trying to say that Sprite loves Icarus.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Which she did, but what did it matter? What depth was that?
And it was just a, I guess, prelude to the end of the film. But it was just like, I didn't get that at any point throughout the movie, like even hinting towards it, kind of. And all of a sudden, oh yeah, you love him. I was like, what?
Like, there was one thing where she's like, you need to lead us. And then it's like, oh yeah, you love him. And then it's like, I'm going with him.
Yeah.
That was your development?
There's,
of that?
there's probably
and
some
it-
like deleted scenes or something that has more
would've
to
had to
it.
have,
It would,
otherwise
yeah.
you
Yeah,
a 3.5
because
hour
in my
movie,
mind, I'm like, okay, well, she's going with him to take him out.
That's
That
kind of
was-
what I
that
thought
was
too.
what
I
on
was
my
like, maybe
mind.
she's
I'm
actually
like,
going with him
she's-
technically
I'm
to
gonna go with
stop
him
him.
so she can help stop him. She can tell everyone else where he is. No, she went to help him.
Yeah,
I was like,
because she was in love with him.
yeah.
Like again, it would have been better as a series so that we could have seen that development more. Also, always being 13,
you need to
always
throw
whatever.
On, throw on the longing looks of wanting to be with that guy. You guys are the same age, but you got screwed. You're always the little one. You're always the pixie. You're always, the
The
13-year-old.
child. Yeah.
And you want to be with the guy that's the powerful one. You want to be with them. You can have those longing looks. You can have those conversations. The always being dismissed, the never being able to grow up thing. You could develop Sprite into someone you're like, dude,
Relatable.
Yeah.
I
That is your
understand.
relatable character.
Instead, you had a huge cast, and again, the problem with a huge cast, the reason a huge cast works for Avengers
Is because they had
Infinity
backstories,
War.
They'll have their own
movies.
individual film.
So when you have a passing comment of this, you already know why.
Yeah.
You don't need it. Infinity War is this, that, and the other. Oh, I thought we were getting a Starbucks or something. Instead, it's, the Avengers fucking showing up in Wakanda.
Yeah.
You already know the separation there
Yeah.
of why that joke is funny.
You've had 12 years of films to go back to and touch on. This was that we tried to make an Avengers movie when all of them had their movie in this movie.
Which is
Yeah.
another reason why Justice League didn't work.
Yes.
One, it was done by DC and Warner Brothers. Two,
It's usually the biggest fault.
you gave 1.5 origin stories.
Yeah.
That's it.
Screw you, Cyborg.
And then you tried to throw everybody else in there. The uncut version, the Snyderverse version,
Gave everybody's backstory.
gave everyone so much more. And you got that after Wonder Woman. You got that after Aquaman. So you have more, and it was super Cyborg driven.
Yeah.
Reason everyone liked that one better is there was more content, but you also had this other stuff that came out. Fuck you. You had all this other stuff that came out after the movie originally released, but had it released before Justice League first came out, and you let Scott Snyder do his thing, Zack Snyder, it would have actually probably played a whole lot better. Instead, it just you trying to force a whole bunch of crap into one thing real fast. It doesn't work.
No, it
has
doesn't.
Never worked. Stop trying to make it a thing.
Yeah. The next thing. So the next two things are probably the two biggest faults I had with the movie, besides the whole just chaos in how it flowed. The Celestials made the Eternals. Okay, so first off, the Celestials made the Deviants to basically create, chaos into creating people to continue to move and thrive and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, to help people evolve.
To develop people. But they became predators instead and started killing the people. So
well,
then
they created the Deviants to fight off the Predators. They were essentially the original Eternals.
Yeah, so that the people would thrive and populate.
And then they became the Predators, so then they created the Eternals to fight off the Deviants.
Yeah, because he said, I made a mistake, and the Deviants became aware and were able to evolve, and then they became the problem. So then I created the Eternals, and I perfected them. They were immortal, and they were built exactly how I needed them to be, and now they're going to go kill the Deviants, right? So fast forward to the end of the movie.
Are you about to go on, why was there a Deviant, consuming these fucking people for absolutely zero purpose in the storyline?
That is my last one.
Okay.
I will get to that one.
Because that was a huge problem for me. I was like, okay, you have this, Cell, fucking Dragon Ball Z Cell-like figure sucking up the powers of everybody and leaving them dead, and then it does
Avengers Age of Avatar.
nothing.
Yeah. But anyway, so if you made these people that are so perfect and they are there to serve you and that is it, how are they able to evolve now? When you said, I perfected them. And they've not evolved, but they've humanized. If they are robot AI beings and all they do is serve you, how are they going off and becoming, maybe it's 7 million years of evolution?
12
million, whatever, however many million years of evolution. But if you made AI robots, how are they becoming people and wanting to date and start families and I just want to be a kid?
Well, they did indeed start families because Thanos is a child of an eternal family. Eros, spoiler alert, his younger brother is a child of the eternal family that lived on Titan.
Yeah.
Which, I watched a video, shout out to Emergency Awesome on YouTube. He just cracked open an egg of fucking mind-blowing crap of possibilities of what if it wasn't the resources that were the issue that Thanos was fighting about? He comes from a family of Eternals. What if he's like, hey, we're going to lose this planet, cut off half the people, and we stop this emergence?
Yeah, that kind of triggered in my head too while filming it. Because they
What?
said that it slowed down the emergence.
Oh, it's because it stopped it.
And then the Avengers snapped them all back, and it just sped it right back up.
Uh-huh. So what if Thanos wasn't the bad guy? He was trying to stop these a-hole Celestials from destroying the entire place like they did his planet.
Yeah.
So if he gets rid of all the people, a grateful universe, because they're still there.
How much you want to bet that comes up later?
I hope it does.
It's coming up now.
Well, I know, but I mean, in the movies though.
Oh. All you need is Harry Styles sitting there telling you, actually, he wasn't an asshole. Here's what happened.
Yeah. And everyone's like,
What?
Oh.
we fucked up. We fucked up.
It's genocide. It was efficient.
It was
You
efficient.
fucking selfish assholes. You don't even know.
But
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, that kind of triggered in my mind too.
Yeah.
Because they even poked at it.
Well, because he was even going to planets and halving those populations
Yeah, maybe other planets that have celestial beings at their core.
that are like about to burst.
And he's like, I'm the only one with the will to do what is necessary. The will to do what is necessary is to take out.
I'm gonna kill half of y'all
I
so the
hate
other half
this.
can live on.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, again, I'm just clicking through trying to find out more about the movie, different stuff I might have missed. Turns out, didn't miss a whole lot. But I was like, did Thanos really save the Avengers and everybody else? I was like, sure, you got my interest.
Yeah.
Like a fucking cartoon, my jaw
What?
hit the floor. I'm like, motherfucker's on something.
Yeah.
So, Thanos was the good guy all along. Turns out, Tony Stark's an asshole.
Yep. So then my last con.
Okay.
Crow. Played by Bill Skarsgård.
Voiced, yeah.
Voiced by...
You
So-
put Bill Skarsgård in the MCU, and this is the shit you dealt him?
Yeah.
It's Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah. You had that caliber level actor, and you gave him a voiceover.
And a shit one.
And a shit one. That he's dead. So you got one movie out of him.
And again, if this was a series, you can have that dude jumping in and out of every episode. He could be like your villain throughout the whole thing. He is the main deviant fighting him at this year and at this time and over
Yes.
here, and he's the one that thaws out to become the big bad. Or, he can be fighting all of them all over the world at different times. Nope. He just came out of a cave one day, sucked up one of them, and then that was it.
Yeah. So and it's all in the course of a week
Yeah, 6 days.
because they went back 6 days to kill Ajax. He sucks up her powers. Now he can heal. So then we go to like London and everywhere else where they fight. And then we come back to the end when he's got Ajax and Gilgamesh powers.
Mm-hmm.
I
like Gilgamesh.
liked Gilgamesh.
too.
There are a lot of characters in there I really liked. Favorite one I'll throw it out there right now is Druig. But we'll come back to that.
Okay, so I actually didn't dislike any of the main characters outside of Angelina Jolie.
I will say I didn't dislike any of the characters outside of Salma Hayek.
She was indifferent.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie, they gave her kind of a crap shake. It's almost like Hawkeye in the first Avengers. Hawkeye is this great character. You just made him a zombie.
Yeah.
What?
Brainwashed. Yeah.
However, I think I was sitting there watching it, and I'm watching Richard Madden, and the entire time I'm like, oh, I bet you're the asshole. I bet you're the asshole. Sure enough, you're the asshole.
Honestly, I didn't see it coming until I'm not what you think I am. And then they go back and I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
didn't-
that
I
was,
actually didn't
that
see it
was a
coming.
selling point. I was like, one of you has to be the asshole, and they're making Druig look like the asshole, so I knew he wasn't the asshole.
Yeah.
Easy misdirect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you would have made him the guy that's like pushing everything through, everyone would like.
Yeah.
So the fact that they
No
were
twist at all.
they were pushing him that way, I was like, it has to be him. It's not gonna be Kit Harington because you got to make him the Black Knight later.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. God.
That's Kit Harington. Got him on speed dial.
I gotcha. So I assumed it'd be. I was like, it's probably a Richard Madden. That would make sense. You love him. There's a love triangle. He seems so endearing. I mean, my pants almost fell off to that Scottish accent. Good God. Ooh, man, that'll get you. But yeah, that was for
Yeah.
me. And we watch a lot of shit, and we pick out plot holes, and we pick out how formulas are for TV and movies, and who does what. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, okay. I mean, I called Loki after the first episode. The entire fucking thing after the first episode. Yeah, we do this. We get it. We know how it all breaks down.
Yeah. Yeah. So my deviant issue was there was no real goal to the deviants.
Yeah.
And my other thing was I asked this earlier. Okay, well, I'll touch on the deviant plan. So his plan is to kill all the Eternals.
Yeah.
But once he absorbs Selma Hayek or Ajax, he gets her past and he knows about the Celestials and the the new Celestials coming out of the planet, so he knows what's going to happen. So what is his goal? He knows he's going to die when this thing's born. What's his goal?
Why are they still fighting him when he's trying to stop the emergence from happening? Like, he literally says, I was created just to be hunted and killed for Aramesh, or what the fuck?
Yeah, Aramesh.
Yeah. For...
Erisham.
Erisham.
Yeah.
I have it backwards. Sorry. D is for Listeskia. I was created for this bullshit, for my people to be hunted and killed and all this, which in itself would be
a good
a
thing.
engaging
Yeah.
backstory. You gave him 5 minutes. He absorbed 2 people, and then it was done.
Yeah.
And then frickin' Thena just sashimi'd him. Like,
Which was cool.
oh, yeah.
And would have been a better moment had you had more to draw on than this giant avatar lizard, as you said, soaked up 2 people like Cell from Dragon Ball Z and was trying to change into his final form.
Can you imagine what he would have looked like
Yeah.
until if he had actually absorbed that many?
Yeah.
Well, so to piggyback on your point, so because we were talking about this earlier, because he was like, "Well, what's their final goal?" And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure it's just self-preservation."
For most, it
Because
is.
he's like,
But,
"Well, he knows they're gonna
knows
die.
When they come out, he's going to
but
die.
They weren't
And
gonna
so
die."
by killing the Eternals, you're not going to stop it.
Hang
so
on.
how are you going to stop it?
But he had already absorbed Ajax powers, right? And obviously all the Eternals were never going to die at all because they were connected to Tiamat or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So technically he would have been too because he absorbed their celestial energy.
Okay.
So he
okay.
wouldn't have died.
So he wouldn't have died. 1, he wouldn't have died. 2, what did they have to do to fight off Titmouse? It was all of them collect under the Unishits,
Yeah, the Unimind.
and, you're a rock now,
Yeah.
and call it a day. Had he would have been the Unimind.
Yeah.
Had he absorbed them all up and became his final form and fought Goku.
But, okay, even if he did do that,
Really couldn't get over the Dragon Ball Z reference on that
Say-
one. Like, I
say-
saw it and it never broke.
say he did absorb all of them and either kill Titmouse, as you said,
Tiamat. Oh my
Or
god, what did he do?
It's
If-
Titmouse now.
if he kills him or not, say he doesn't kill him and he emerges.
Mm-hmm.
If, what's his name? Erisham. If Erisham has no use for the Deviants now, because he says, I'll fuck these ones up so I don't create the Eternals.
Yeah.
The next planet, he's not going to put Deviants on. So what purpose does he have for the Deviants?
I'm
If
pretty
you
sure the
kill them all off
deviants are already
anyways?
there. That's what I think
And they're sending the Eternals to whatever place the Deviants have gotten to.
But I mean, like, at one
'Cause
point, it's
he-
either you're going to have all the Celestials, or, I mean, eventually you're going to start sending more seeds out in the universe. You're just not going to put Deviants there. So any Deviants that come back, you can kill them off anyways.
Well,
so,
so-
like, what is your goal? What is your final purpose? That was what I was trying to find out with the Deviants.
Here's a question for you. How do we know that they don't have a way to travel through space or something?
I mean, we don't.
Exactly.
We didn't get any story.
No, I know. I know.
The problem.
Well, I'm saying, so...
Like, I shouldn't have this many questions at the end of the movie.
No, I know. But it's like, what if once he, absorbed Ajax and took all of, like, her memories and everything, realized, oh, hey, I could absorb all of them, take their ship and go find other deviants out in the universe, evolve all of them, and then we can go kill all the Eternals and maybe...
Kill the Celestials.
Which,
That's my goal.
It's like,
Yeah.
that could be, like, their actual goal once he had actually become, like, self-aware, or not self-aware, but, like, more sentient.
What do I always say? What do I always say?
It could be solved with a thing of dialogue.
Can be solved with like 3 lines of dialogue. And
Yeah.
you could have done that. You could have been sitting there fucking smooth talking Angelina. I love Mr. and Mrs. Smith. By the way, here's my plan. And then, in standard bad guy trope, his monologuing, she gets her little, fake lightsabers out and cuts them in half.
There were a lot of tiebacks to Star Wars, like the opening scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like...
Yeah.
Rolling up the...
I was thinking, I was
She goes,
like-
are we watching Star Wars? Like,
I was like, I didn't think it'd be... I think I'd be at a Star Wars movie today. Did I walk in the wrong theater?
but anyway, okay. We're ready for the pros. We haven't worked cons. Let's
Yes,
see all
pros.
this.
Let's get positive in this bitch because there's a lot for me to whine about,
Okay.
and I will.
the cast was really good.
The
People casted for their roles were really
Now,
good.
I have said the only one I didn't like was Angelina Jolie, and every time I said that, somebody's about to explain a story of why it was okay and why it wasn't her fault and why Athena's her favorite person. And go.
Okay, I'll say this: the only one I didn't like was Selma Hayek for the main purpose of. I think of a lot of these films, the reason why we like the character so much and relate to the character so much is we don't pick big A-list people. Like, none of the films we've really had have been huge. I mean...
Yeah, okay, so there's conflicting lines of thought on that. A lot of people think, like, oh, man, we don't get A-list stars to do these things. Scarlett Johansson had been around for a while, but she wasn't an A-list actor.
Chris Evans had been around for a while, but wasn't A-list.
Robert Downey Jr. was...
But with so many
had
issues...
nuked his own career,
Yeah.
so they brought him back.
Yeah.
However, there has been A-list actors in the cast in almost every single one of them. Jeff Bridges is a fucking A-list actor.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard was an A-list actor for Rhodey. Don Cheadle,
But none of those
A-list
people
actor.
are main characters. And I think that's why it works.
Their name isn't on the screen, but
Yeah.
they're
They
there.
are A-list
They're the
actors.
thing.
But Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie are main characters in this.
Barely.
Barely, but they are Eternals. The movie's called Eternals.
Yes, but
So-
I would argue that Don Cheadle has more screen time than either of those two combined.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, and obviously, some of them die off. Some of them die off sooner than later. Ajax dies off really fucking fast.
And would have to make anything
Yeah.
flow into making
And
sense.
so, and that's one of the things I was worried about in this movie was we had A-list celebrities as major roles. So when Selma Hayek, I started Selma Ajax, when she died off, I was like, okay, good, because I want these other characters that we know nothing about really to kind of thrive.
Yeah.
Everyone else cast in this was good. I liked the Angelina Jolie character because the one thing that we usually have a qualm with was there was no internal struggle, where to me she had the biggest internal struggle because she was not reset by the Celestial and she's starting to remember and then trying to, and I don't know because that never really got explained, when she would flip to like the wide eyes and try to kill everybody. I don't know what was happening. I thought it was cool though.
No,
It
so
was
it
cool,
was
but
they
there was-
explained it.
They
did.
Yeah, they explained.
She was having basically
They called it Weary Mind?
mad weary.
Mad Weary, that's it.
No, so the thing that was happening is basically like think about like your disk drive on your computer. How when it gets to 100%, like your whole computer just goes, "Ugh, can't do anything. That thing's pretty much what it was.
What made that attack the people she was with only?
Yeah.
That was the part that I was kind of like, why isn't she
I
attacking
think
the
it might
Celestial
maybe
this
be
day?
like I don't know, AI version of maybe dementia or some shit. I don't really know.
Maybe, but I did like the internal struggle there, and I did like how Crow, the deviant, tried to use that against her at the very end by playing as
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. He was trying to pretend to be Gilgamesh to
Yeah.
sun's getting real low.
Yeah.
And,
I leaned over. I was like, "Sun's getting real low." Okay,
Stop it, you're making me crazy.
but I felt like that added a good amount to the storyline when
I think
Gilgamesh
I
was like,
would've-
"We're not going to kill her.
Yeah.
I've got it. We'll go on our
I
own
like
way."
whenever she did turn on Icarus. She's like, "Really poor timing, Thena."
Yeah. He's like, "You never had a fight before. I've always wanted
I've
to."
always wanted to. Yeah, at the very
See,
end.
I
Oh,
did
yeah, that
like
was
those
great.
lines, and I
Yeah.
felt like she had some really cool, fun, enjoyable lines.
I think her character could have been better for me if there was
More to it.
more to it.
Yeah, and
If
again,
we
that's
had
my
a
biggest
series.
problem with the entire thing is I needed more character development
Yes.
because some of these characters were really cool. Some of them could have been a lot fucking cooler.
I wanted to see more of Faustus
Me too.
and more Druid. Honestly, more of
Yeah, Faustus got the least amount of screen time, and I wasn't really sure why.
I know why.
Well, Gabe.
Probably the same reason that it got
banned in several countries.
banned in several countries. Because he is a gay character in Marvel.
Faustus, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Faustus also Makari
Oh yeah, dude,
got
Makari.
no screen time.
Which was a miss.
Yes,
Yeah.
because she was a phenomenal character.
Huge miss. What's the pullback there?
I don't know.
She's been reading
amount of-
books in the ship that's underground.
She's
for
been
1,000
stealing
years.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Well, yeah, I
just
know
been.
she was stealing shit. But...
Okay, so my brain is spider
All right, let's go back to Fastos.
So Fastos, gay character in the Marvel Universe, openly obvious. He has a husband, he has a son. That's a thing. Really, probably one of the first times they've made that super obvious and in your face about it.
The kiss.
There was a kiss.
Which we had some asshole in the audience that kept whistling every single
Every
time
time
somebody
anyone
kissed.
anyone,
Woo,
we gotta,
woo. Yeah, every time.
again, I will never watch a primetime theater releasing.
I
went Saturday at 7 o'clock.
You would have been better off seeing it Saturday at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the morning when no one goes. Yeah, Thursdays. I'm able to do Thursdays. I always
if you
do
actually got
Thursdays.
home, we could actually
Yeah.
do
If
it.
you're home Thursdays, seriously.
Yeah.
Because no one goes.
We're doing that for Spider-Man.
Oh shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the reason that has not been a big thing up to this point is not because we're trying to cover up a gay agenda or anything. It's money.
Yeah.
If we have a gay person in this movie
That's openly gay
and is shown, we will lose money in countries where it is aggressively and despicably banned, frowned upon, and
Illegal.
persecuted.
Yeah.
Very, very, very persecuted.
Yeah.
So
So because of this character, this movie was not released in a lot of those countries.
Correct.
In all of those countries.
correct.
Yeah, because they were
means-
banned there.
None of this. You
Which
can't have any
means-
of this because we can't show your movie.
Which means no money.
Yeah.
So you have that character, which he was awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved way more of him. He was
Fall collection.
yeah.
IKEA.
His attitude.
Ass.
You know what never helped us save the world?
Your sarcasm.
Your sarcasm.
Your sarcasm.
Yeah, he was great. I loved him. But
Making it Unimind. Brainstorm. No, it's my invention. I'm naming it.
so you have this character that in our current culture in the Western society, you're trying to checkbox everything, make everyone feel included. Be offended by it or not, it is a thing. They do it. So how do you give them this sort of exposure and there's a word I'm looking for. I can't think of what it is. But how do you give them this whilst not entirely shooting yourselves in the foot? You give them a little bit of it and hope that everyone else can bypass it.
Yeah.
You know you're going to lose out on some markets. It is what it is. You're going to grow in this capacity. Character was awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a brief pause from the Eternals. I just started on my Will It Rye.
I actually poured more Old Fits
saw.
because it was so good.
I saw. This Will It Rye is also phenomenal.
Yeah, 4 years. I don't know that these are their own yet. Willet was sourcing for a very, very, very long time. They've just, in the past couple of years, started making their own liquid.
Yeah.
And releasing their own liquid. So, like their family estate, this is a family estate rye, but the other ones, they're bourbons, they're 4, 8, whatever.
Yeah.
That's all well and good.
Try it.
But
I'm good.
they are...
My drink, I don't know.
Yeah, she has her old-fashioned.
My old fashioned.
But yeah, so, you have the family estates, the purple label, which looks really cool, very shiny, and are considered like unicorn hard to get. That's all well and good, but you get an 8 or 10 year of that, it's still probably mostly MGP.
Yeah.
So,
It's good though. It's
that's still delicious.
It's not overly minty. It's got a little bit of licorice in it, but in a good way.
It's very candied.
Yeah, it's very candied.
I'll get there in a minute. I don't want...
And I've tried the Willet that everyone shits on, the small batch with the cool looking bottle, the decanter looking
Oh, the one
bottle.
that's like, whoop.
Oh, that one is Reserve?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And the entire bourbon whiskey community just shits on that bottle left and right. I have not had it since COVID time. I bought a bottle of it. It was...
Yes, Reserve. That's the one with the cool bottle.
To me, it wasn't that bad. Again, this was a year and a half ago when I tried it.
It's very, very sweet.
Very sweet. I considered it to be like a dessert bourbon.
Yeah.
So, to have the rye be very candied and kind of sweet too,
Might just be their
it's
mash
very
bill.
good. Yeah, that's their thing. But yes, very good. Back to the Eternals. I did want a lot more of Makari.
I did too.
I felt like that was a big miss because because there's so many characters, you kind of get lost in the story. You can get lost in the characters, and then she shows back up. I'm like, oh, where the fuck have you been for the past hour and a half? And then she's just been reading books in the lab.
She's been
on the
bored.
ship.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm bored. Can we go home
So
now?
finally, my boredom can end. I'm like, well, yes, but no.
Yeah, but no, we're about to
I
kill everyone
like
here.
that you saw the. Okay, keep going because I want to.
Okay.
I'm actually going to round this out and going into the post-credit scenes and suit of armor that she had in there. So.
Okay. So I liked Athena. I liked Icarus. Cersei, I liked. Ajax, yeah, like you said, it could have taken her or leaving her. Didn't really affect the
Yeah.
storyline. Loved Gilgamesh.
Me too.
Kingo was the comedic relief, so he brought that. I liked how he brought his producer with him, and
Loved that.
yeah, that was hilarious.
Did you get that? Yes, sir.
I didn't care. I thought it was just dumb, and it probably so normally before I watch one of these movies, I read a couple of the comics to kind of familiarize myself with the characters. I didn't get the point of the finger guns.
The finger guns?
Like they gave him finger guns.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Well, I think it's more of like
Pew, pew, pew.
he can shoot balls of energy.
So you might as well just aim with something you're familiar with.
It's a kill shot. It's a kill shot.
I guess. Well, because
Um,
remember he could also have like
create, like, the
an
big ball.
actual ball, and he was
Yeah,
like,
and
he's like,
throw
give
it.
me a second, and it was actually
he had
like the
Sprite doing the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sprite doing her.
I could have gone without Sprite.
Yeah,
I would have
She
cared.
was one of the more main characters too.
Yeah, and I could have given. I would have cared more if you. Again, we should have done this as a series. Exactly like I said, everyone gets you split an episode between two characters, and you get to a point, but you can see as they all grow up, and you do a series. Your time jump isn't as fucking scattershot as
And
it is
chaotic.
in this movie.
Yeah.
because you can have time jumps because it's like if you watch like Once Upon a Time, for example, like they jump back and forth between like the fairy tale
Constantly.
world and the real world constantly to show why the thing in the real world is like a correlation to it. You could do the same thing in a TV show and it's not as bad
Yeah.
because you're jumping between one point and one point.
And you're developing as you go. This one,
Yeah.
It
you're
was
just
just
trying to hurry up
rushed.
and get to the
Yeah.
point, but you're trying to fill in the blanks in the process. And again, it goes back to what I said before, which is apparently how you tell all your stories. It's this happened, but this happened because this happened. You're like, just fucking end the story.
Get to it.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if they had started out in freaking Mesopotamia, 500, 8 BC,
yeah.
And then
gone
went
from there.
chronologically from there. We could have gotten the same storyline all of a sudden.
And then
Yeah,
you're-
we
we
were
get to
you're always
present
jumping in one
day.
direction.
and then your midpoint is her trying to get into her classroom where she sees Kit Harington.
Yeah.
Which means a lot of your second and third act get cut down a lot. Do you have as much room for the deviant bullshit? Maybe.
Well, I mean, they were still fighting the deviants throughout all those little points, too.
Yeah.
Like,
So
We're
if
just
you
going back and
still
forth and
have
back and
it
forth and back and
Yeah.
forth.
be Bill Skarsgård every single time as the main one who's fighting but getting away,
Yeah.
fighting but getting away,
Then
then
you just go forward in time only.
yeah,
So think that could have been better.
I do too.
So liked Fastos. To me, the best Eternal, the best storyline, the one that you cared about because of his internal struggle was Druig. Whenever he was watching them all fight, he goes, I can stop this. I have the power to stop this. We're here to make sure they all live right.
Yeah.
Well, they're killing each other right now. So I can stop this, but you won't let me because I'm interfering, and he says I can't.
Yeah.
And so then he says, fuck y'all. We're leaving.
you just have to kill me. I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, he's like, then do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
think about it. If he had taken over the whole planet, would the emergence have happened?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Because I mean, people are still there.
People are still there. That's
Well,
the
no,
point.
no, but like they wouldn't have kept evolving and kept populating and
Yeah,
everything.
'cause
They
he
would
said
have
that
been-
it was war that we lost our video.
Uh,
So much for 3 hours. It was war that made them evolve and become more technologically advanced, which means they were able to populate more and stay alive
Which-
longer to
'cause
continue
they
to populate.
advanced
And that's what
medicine,
drew it.
which made people live longer, which made people have more
Yes.
people. Like, so if he had
So-
just made everyone content with where they were, they wouldn't have evolved. They wouldn't have grown. They wouldn't have populated as much. Because they were, what, in Tenochtitlan and like...
Well, and that's why they're not allowed to
Exactly.
get involved.
because you have to let them develop and create that
And,
energy.
yeah.
I don't know, because his goal was just to make everyone peaceful. It wasn't to stop them from populating or growing or
Yeah.
developing.
Well, yeah, but when you think about it, if they were peaceful, they wouldn't have kept populating. They would have
And
kept
it's-
growing.
which was Fasto's struggle and why he kind of shut down and gave up on humanity is because he's like, I helped them with technology. I help push and guide them, and this is what they did with it.
Yeah, because it shows
That
him
was
just have
sad.
a complete meltdown when he
And
created the
Hiroshima.
bomb.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
the sad
He's
part.
like, I
I
put them
did
on this
Yeah,
path,
I gave them this technology.
and this is what these people did with it. They do not deserve anything. And then he's like, oh wait, I love things. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, he found a family and he,
Yeah,
you know,
he
became
loves things.
content. Yeah. So
so
I fix things with my hands. You sure?
my last pro, and I thought this was just really cool, and it probably has nothing to do with anything, because these characters have all been named for, I don't know how long the Eternals comic books have been around, a long time. All of their names are a god or goddess of something.
Yep.
In actuality.
I have
Which means they are they are the source material, and they created stories off of their own bullshit. Which
Yes.
I think it was Kingo that said he created the Icarus story,
Yeah.
flying too close to the sun because he's the only one that can actually fly and do all that
and
shit.
he
Mm-hmm.
killed himself by flying into the sun.
Did he kill himself, or did he just fly
I
into
think
the
he killed
sun?
himself.
I think he yeeted himself into the
I think
sun
he
and
yeeted
killed himself.
I think because he couldn't live with himself after trying to kill everyone, and then being like, "I'm sorry, I fucked up," and then that was his solution, was to fly. Because it showed him flying over the sun. I think he flew into the sun.
I thought I showed him flying directly at it.
No,
but
yeah, he was flying straight into that.
Yeah,
I think because
I think I just
Because
don't want him
that
to
is
be
also
gone
the story.
because
I
I
don't
want to hear him
either.
talk for another like 2 or 3 hours.
well, think about it. It kind of looked like whenever whenever Arishem was showing Cersei like the whole like basically Eternals like production zone or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it honestly looked like there were lines and lines of copies.
Yeah,
Like they
I
weren't
saw it as
completely different.
copies, but they came out like the very, very end. It was there's Eternals all over the galaxy.
Yeah, that's
we need
what
to
I'm
go
saying.
find them. So it's not copies. It's just different
There's-
Eternals.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like it looked like there was like a line of a line of Ajax's, a line of Cersei's, a line of whatever.
Athena's, yeah.
But then it also looked like it kept going, but those lines were the same going all the way down. So there could be other Cerseis, there could be other whatever. I have that list
Well,
of
I think we have different ones because we ended up getting Eros, who was not.
true. No, that's what I'm
with
saying.
them,
Like there
so-
wasn't just like 10.
Star
there was like a
Fox.
million
Star
of them,
Fox.
but then there was like copies all the way down. So who
And
knows?
Pip, fucking. I know you're wanting to go through all of them, but we're gonna jump into that mid-credit scene real quick because this has taken all the time as
Yeah.
it should have. Patton Oswalt, one of the biggest
I knew it was Patton Oswalt.
fucking nerds. He's also the voice of MODOK on the Hulu cartoon, which
Yeah.
is, here or there in your opinion of it. But you listen to that dude talk, he is a comic nerd.
Yes.
And he goes very, very deep. So for him to actually get a shake in the real MCU as a dwarf, whatever he actually
Yeah.
is, troll, Pip the troll, who does nothing but jump around, teleport, and drink, and is drunk all the time, was probably my favorite part of the entire movie.
It's my spirit animal.
Yes.
Did you notice that his teleporting like magic
Was
or
it
whatever?
Bifrost?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
He
you.
was using Bifrost technology.
All right, cool. Let's make sure.
Mm-hmm.
I have the list of the legends
Go
if
for
you'd
it.
like
Let's
me to.
run through the list of the legends, and then we'll wrap it up with the final post-credit scene
Yes.
and all the things about that I have.
Okay, so Gilgamesh, obviously the epic Gilgamesh, oldest recorded story uncover of the history of human civilization. He was a king, super strong, Sumerian. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We have Athena, obviously Athena. Drop the A.
I said, yeah. That was like a
Goddess-
copyright thing.
Yeah,
Right.
but obviously that one's kind of self-explanatory.
Goddess of War.
Goddess of War.
Yep.
Faustus was Hephaestus, the Greek god of forge and innovation.
Mm-hmm.
That one completely makes sense, right?
Yep.
Icarus, obviously, he wasn't a god, but he was a son of an inventor who basically made like wax wings, and he told him don't fly too close to the sun because they'll melt. And what did he do? He fucking flew as high as he could. They melted, and then he fell into the sea and died. So that's the
Yeah.
real
and
story.
This one ended by flying
Him
into
flying
the
into the
sun.
sun. Yeah. So, yay.
Yeah, when that happened, I'm sitting there in theater. I'm like, oh, that's just lazy writing.
Is it though?
I get what you're doing, but
Look, his name is Icarus too in the sun.
I get what they did there.
Apparently, Druig has no clear counterpart.
Yep, it was the only one I didn't have one for.
Weird Ezra Miller looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did
I
not
don't
have
know
a
who
counterpart.
the actor is. You don't have to look it up right now. But the entire time, I'm like, are we sure that's not Ezra Miller?
His name is Barry
Allen? Yeah,
Keoghan.
I know. Oh.
Keoghan. 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 Barry Keoghan.
Interesting.
No idea.
Anyway,
Nope.
Makari is based off of Mercury, aka Hermes.
Mm-hmm.
So the messenger
Speed.
god. Yep. Speed. And then Circe, obviously, minor Greek
Circe.
goddess, Circe. Daughter of the sun god Helios. Powerful sorceress, whatever. Ajax apparently was Ajax, who was actually a prince, like second greatest fighter in the Trojan War minus Achilles.
Yeah,
like,
she was like a hero. Or he was like a hero.
or something.
That's what Achilles was.
So, Kingo also does not have a. It's like kind of a mystery. There's not like a clear correlation because the name that's closest is Kingu, but he didn't have any powers and died pretty quickly. Maybe
Not a real good god.
Yeah.
it says maybe there's a meta joke in there as to why Kingo is so insecure compared to his epic compatriots. So I don't know. And then Sprite is not specific like name in anything, but in reference to like fairies, pixies, or any other folk creature known for being small and mischievous. So in line
Fitting.
of illusion of powers in line with tricky
She
powers.
creates illusions. She created illusion of herself to begin in the beginning of the
Or
movie.
like fucking like 10 volcanoes,
She
no big deal.
has a really awful pixie haircut. Yeah.
So, and then obviously Eros, he comes in. Just
Star Fox.
so,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all of them.
So when she's sitting there reading all the books, all the crap around her, and Athena picks up a sword,
Excalibur.
and they ask, "Is that the ebony blade?" No, it's Excalibur.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that's what she said.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear that.
Excalibur, she goes,
No,
what
no,
was
I
it?
didn't. Is that the ebony blade? I didn't hear
You
that
didn't
part.
hear that part.
I only heard Excalibur.
Yeah.
She asked her real quick, "Is that the ebony blade?" It's like,
It's
no,
just
it's
like
Excalibur.
King, whatever's like always did everything for you.
Yeah, King Arthur always
King
had a thing
Arthur,
for you.
yeah.
Always had a thing for you. Yeah. Okay.
So, Kit Harington, Dane Whitman,
Yep.
and we talked about this. We knew. I just thought he would have a more prevalent role and might actually see him do
Yeah, that's
something.
what I was
with
kind of
this.
hoping for too. We were talking about it during the. I was like, just give me a post credit or something.
So, the Black Knight has a long lineage. The more people that the ebony sword is the sword that the Black Knight wields, the more people you kill with it, the more you like get overcome with bloodlust and the more powerful. The thing is like Stormbreaker level ridiculously powerful. However, if you continue to use it too much and too long, I guess the curse for the family is that it turns you to stone.
Okay.
So, in the movie, Kit Harington, she gives him a crest of his family crest on a ring,
Yeah.
which was the bird that's on the front of the Black Knight's armor.
Mm.
In the middle, where he calls her, and she's like, "Hey, you've always wanted to get in touch and patch things up with your uncle. Now's the time." He's like, "I don't know about all that." That's because in the comic books, Dane Whitman's uncle was the Black Knight before him and was the villain version, killing fucking everybody. So there was that tie-in.
Okay.
And then you jump to the final after you sat through all the credits, try to pick out the weirdest names in the line as it went through, as we all do. You see him sitting there. Oh, end of the movie. Fucking Arishem,
Erisham.
Febreze, fucking whatever. He shows up, grabs all the Eternals that are there, and is like, "Hey, motherfuckers, you done fuck shit up." And, oh god, I'm about to branch off. So, Guardians 1, when the Collector is explaining the stones,
Yeah.
and shows a video of a Celestial with the Power Stone wipe out a whole planet, that is what would happen if you interfered with the emergence of a Celestial.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Which is why you saw that, and what could have happened with Titan, with Thanos trying to fuck shit up.
So isn't that what should have happened to Earth?
He
Correct.
said-
He showed up and he's like, "You stop this from happening. You're coming with me, and I'm going to study your memories to see if these people are worth saving. And then I'm coming back to pass judgment."
Ah.
Yeah.
So these people aren't worth saving. You're getting the purple rocky thing.
Yeah, you're getting purple rocked. You get purple drink. So he is standing next to Cersei when, giant redhead shows up, gets taken out, and he's like, "No, I gotta do something." Well, his doing something, and if you were paying attention, he was trying to explain, "Hey, since we're, giving up all of our secrets, my family's got a complicated past. There's a lot I need to tell you. Kind of a curse thing going on." And then, redhead showed up. She disappeared.
Yeah.
Get to the very, very end, and it's him standing in an office staring at a box. He knew right away what the fuck the box was. He's going back and forth. He's like, "Oh, I got to try. I got to do something. This is the way I can actually try and fight and get back to my little girlfriend thing, who is not a girl, technically,
Yeah.
but it's a thing."
Yeah.
Opens it up, and you see the sword all wrapped up. I have a feeling when he grabs it and actually wields it, it'll go like all Thor 1, and the armor will just like...
Come out of the sword and onto him.
Wrap around him.
Kind of like some nanotech, like an Iron Man suit.
Iron Man and...
Because it's like, you saw
Infinity
the
War.
metal, like, trying to, like, reach out
Yeah.
and touch
Shoot
him.
towards-
And
yeah.
that was kind of cool. I was
And
like,
I forgot what the etch was. Something about death or blood.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. And then as he goes to reach it, you don't see him, but you hear the voice. "Are you really ready to do that, Mr. Whitman?" Do you know who that was?
No,
You don't!
I don't.
Oh! You don't know who it was. Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Ah.
Best part of the movie. Best part of the movie.
Death is my reward.
Death is my reward.
There it
Which,
is.
again, the more people you kill with that sword, the stronger the
Oh,
sword is.
a blade made by Merlin.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Interesting. We're starting getting the entire tie-in to Phase 4. So we're gonna have Dark Knight, Blade.
Black Knight, not Dark Knight.
I'm sorry, Black Knight. Yeah,
That is a
sorry,
different
I'm
copyright
DC,
thing.
Yeah.
Yep. It says
Maybe
blade.
some of the Eternals, Celestial or so.
I'm so excited for Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Yes.
We have Mobius in January now.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. We saw the trailer
I
for it.
would
and,
love, and you actually got a more kind of in-depth trailer on it
Yeah.
recently. I would love for Mahershala Ali to show up in that.
I have a feeling it will.
In-
End credit
in the-
scene at least, or
in
something.
the cartoon version, in the cartoon Spider-Man, Mobius shows up, and Spider-Man's fighting Mobius. Then Blade shows up to kill Mobius because vampire killer.
Yeah.
So it would make sense for that to.
Yeah. It's gonna be like the rest of Tom Holland's career is he play Spider-Man for the rest of his life.
Or
Because
like-
Spider-Man ties into so many other characters
yeah.
down the line. Being Stanley's essential favorite. Ties into
Exactly.
everything.
So that wraps up our very long breakdown
Yeah. That was almost as long as the movie.
of Eternals.